Hello fellow old schoolers. We have another training match here from some kitchen table games where we are testing out various brews for an upcoming tournament in a few weeks from now. And this time we have a debut on this channel as there's a new guy in the play group, and he's on a black artifact Parfait deck. And he's coming up against the deck here, one of the deck players in the play group, so testing out their decks against each other. Let's go over the setups real quick here. This is Jeppe on his black Parfait deck. We see it here. Parfait is the archetype name for decks that uses a strategy revolving around Winter Orb, Howling Mines, and then Relic Barriers and Icy Manipulators to tap the Howling Mine down in your opponent's upkeep, and so that you kind of negate his ability to draw from that, and then it will untap in your own turn, and you can get your increased draws in. Or you can tap your Winter Orb before it's your turn and get a full untap phase with your lands, and then that Winter Orb will be ready and online in the opponent's turn so that he can't untap his lands. Usually you'll combine all this with Black Wises and Underworld Dreams, because you'll lock the other guy's mana down, and the Black Wises will do the damage against cards in his hand. And obviously with an Underworld Dreams out, you can just forgo tapping your own Howling Mine, and the Underworld Dreams will do increased damage because of the increased draw power from that Howling Mine. Jeppe combines this strategy with a full artifact robot deck here, with Sushis and Triskelions, and we have to Travis. And we also see at the bottom of the deck picture here, he's put in some Gates to Phyrexia, and that's actually a new tech of his that he's trying out here. It is, as far as I know, the only way for black to remove artifacts, but I imagine that it'll come in handy here, because once you don't get any mileage out of your Black Wises because the other guy has sufficient mana and too few cards in hand, you can just sacrifice that Black Wise into the gate and destroy like a book on Icy. And there's a nifty combination here as well with the Travis, where you'll just split that Travis out into several 1/1 artifact flyers, and then you can sacrifice those flyers just to just crack artifacts, and you can use that just to go to town. You can even put the Travis back into that Tawnor's Coffin, and when it comes out, it'll have a full package of Tetravai counters again. And with that gate out, well, you can just bomb the board state, destroying Moxen and Felverstones and whatever you want. And as far as I know, the Gates to Phyrexia, you can actually do it several times a turn. So quite nifty combinations here. He also has a Diamond Valley. I don't think that'll be very good in this matchup, because this matchup is not about the life total here. It's more about control. So the Gate to Phyrexia could be a cute tech here, very nice if you get the combination going, whereas the Diamond Valley is more useful against aggro and burn strategies. So I imagine the Diamond Valley will be sideboarded out immediately. So that's the deck here. I imagine that the deck player, it will be not an opponent he's used to facing here, so it will be interesting how such a matchup plays out. Let's go over the deck. This is Jesper's the deck, and he's been playing that a lot for a few years, so he's a very experienced pilot of that archetype. I forgot to mention before that the Parfait deck makes use of a couple of the Abyss, and those will be dead draws in this matchup as well, so he'll need to sideboard those out, because we see there are no creatures in this deck besides the Mistress Factories. So that will be his kill con, and that single fireball in combination with the Mirror Universe. We have gone over the deck a bunch of times before. He also has two The Abyss here, and those will be dead draws as well. So I imagine those The Abyss will just get sideboarded out immediately. Now this guy, he can sideboard in Serra Angels after sideboard in anticipation of the other guy taking out his own Abyss, just to punch in with that, because the other guy will tend to remove his creature removal. So that might be a maneuver we'll see here. We also see in his sideboard he has plenty of anti-artifact options that might come in handy as well, like Divine Offering and Dust to Dust. As for the Black Parfait, he's actually, using Black Wises and Underworld Dreams is not a bad thing against the deck. So straight from the get-go, he does have some advantages here, but yeah, I'm not that much experienced in this matchup actually. I would imagine that the Parfait is quite good against robots and probably decent against the deck as well, and will likely struggle against aggro because they might overrun you because you don't have that much. But in this particular deck, it's not only a Parfait deck, it's also a robot deck, so he'll have plenty of blockers and plenty of creature aggression. So I don't think he is that weak against aggro either. So we shall see how this comes into play. This is the matchup for tonight, and yeah, let's get ready for the battle. Round number 1. And I do believe we have, yeah, it must be the deck on the left here, and Parfait, Black Parfait on the right. Let's see who's on the play. Okay, it's the Parfait deck. Straight into a Black Wise. Nice start from him. That's really what he needs against the deck. Just some quick damage in here. And the deck will sometimes have a Library of Alexandria. That's not very good in this situation. Oh, Black Lotus though. So yeah, it would be a bit of a dilemma for the deck if he'll write that library under a Black Wise like this. 7 cards in hand here. He'll take a full damage from that Black Wise. Oh, Dark Ritual here. Underworld Dreams. Okay, cracking the Lotus into a counterspell. So the deck actually is down to 6 cards here and only take 2 points of damage. Oh, and the Parfait deck is actually mana starved here. Kept the hand with a single swamp. I mean, he had a Dark Ritual and had a Black Wise. Decent start, but very risky. Still, the deck takes a walloping here from the Black Wise, down to 15 points of life. Still riding that library. It is a very expensive library at this point, making him take 3 damage a turn. But I suppose if you can gain control of the board, it doesn't really matter if he's down to 7 life, something like that. Now disenchant the Black Wise. Okay, now there's just an open field for that library. You can ride straight to victory, and we see heartbreaking stuff here as the Parfait deck is actually completely mana starved. Only a single swamp here. He really needs to get some action going. We did see sinkholes in his deck, so if he can get another black mana source, he might have an answer for that library. Granted, the deck might counter though. As a book probably, yeah, book coming out here. So I think it's just going through the motions here. We are now, I've gone over how the deck matchup works and set it into phases. This is phase 2. He has his draw engine with the book and with the library, and he's able to use the book and still keep up 2 blue mana for the counter magic to protect it. So another book here. Not that it really matters, but pretty soon he'll sink his teeth in. Howling Mine. Okay, that might negate some of that draw power. That actually helps Parfait quite a lot here. Yeah, crucial play actually, countering it. I agree with that. It might look really odd, but I mean, the difference between drawing 2 cards and 1 card is 100%, right? And the difference between drawing 2 and 3 cards is not nearly as much. So the Howling Mine would actually really help Parfait here recall, getting rid of the balance in the book for increased counter magic. Okay, Relic Barrier, getting counter. Okay, that might be a bit. I think that's a bit odd, but I think it's because he can shut down his factory with that Relic Barrier, and the deck doesn't want that. He just wants to poke in now. And he has so much draw power that he'll actually be able to draw 3 cards a turn, no 4 cards a turn, including his draw step. So he'll draw into more counter magic in a jiffy here. I think this is game. A bit of an ungame, this one. This first one. Getting in again. 2 points of damage. Chaos Orb coming out. I even have mana draining it here. Drawing out the book. I mean, the deck can do this all day. This is phase 3, that he can go 1 for 1, countering and disenchanting whatever he wants, because he'll draw so many cards more than the opponent that it doesn't really matter. There's a fireball here, I think. Yep, a fireball for a bunch. That was very nice that he did that, so we didn't have to sit through the entire ordeal with the deck poking in for 2 each turn when it is actually a done deal. Okay, so the deck must have some read about what he's against here. He saw single swamps, so it's likely monocolored, and he saw black whites and Underworld Dreams. So it could be a monocolored black deck. We shall see what is sideboarded here. He saw Relic Barriers as well. That's a dead giveaway for Parfait. Oh, both mulligan in here. I would imagine the deck taking in his artifact removal and maybe Serra Angels, taking out his Abyss, 2 of those. And I imagine Parfait will take out his Abyss and Diamond Valley as well. And get in some more useful stuff here. Okay, so both players down to 6 cards here. Let's hope that the Parfait, or that neither player actually will be mana starved in this game. Quite brutal, this first game. Okay, keeping this hand, both of them. Parfait should be on the play here. Again, let's see if there's a black wise. Dark Ritual into a Gloom. Okay, so sideboarded Glooms then makes sense, especially with a black deck like this. Oh, a Mox Ruby and a Mox Pearl and a Felverstone. Lots of mana out of the deck here. He needs that to push through that Gloom. Howling Mine coming down. Passing the turn. Oh, no lands on the deck's hand. So it's his turn to be a bit mana starved, apart from all that artifact mana. An Energy Flux would wreck him, but obviously Parfait doesn't have that. Oh, a Workshop coming down. Might see some robots or an Icy here. Yep, Sushi hitting the table. Oh, the deck barely has enough mana to play Assault Plowshares. With that Gloom, it'll cost 4. 3 colorless and a white mana. So that robot goes farming, netting the Parfait deck 4 points of life. We see it. And there's another Howling Mine draw from the deck. He should get some lanes now. Yeah, there's one. Factory coming out. Okay, pass the turn right back. He needs that defending factory against the Parfait's attacking factory. Yeah, trying one more thing here. Okay, this time Icy Manipulator. That's actually pretty crucial. He can start to tap down his lanes in the other guy's upkeep. He can also tap his factory at his end step and then attack with his... Oh, I know he can tap his own Howling Mine. That makes sense as well. Okay, Disenchant on the Gloom in his end step. Yeah, pretty difficult one to target here, but I imagine the deck is a bit mana starved. There's a lot of missed land drops. So now I can, yeah, go ahead, just go to town. Divine Offering on that Icy Manipulator. The deck going up to 24 points of life. And then Disenchanting the Howling Mine. Man, that is a lot of artifact removal being spent here. Parfait's board state has been completely obliterated. Tries one more time. Underworld Dreams. And then a Sushi. Okay, can the deck keep up with all that removal? And taking a point of damage from drawing with it under that Underworld Dreams. Double threat staring him down here. Should probably try to handle the Sushi first. Yep, here we go. Another Disenchant. That is amazing. Look at that graveyard from the deck. So much removal has been spent here. Oh, just a Trisk here. Countering the Trisk. Using the Black Lotus for it. Oh yeah, he had to do that. He doesn't have double blue mana. That is actually incredibly unfortunate for the deck here. He really needs that double blue mana. Now attacking here. For 2 points of damage. Blackwise. I think Parfait should counterattack. He's definitely the beatdown here. He attacks here. Divine Offering on the factory. It's amazing. So much removal. Do we have another blue mana source? No such luck. Counterattacking here. Factory swinging in for 2 points of damage. Putting Parfait down to 20. Sit in a bottle. Usually you'd play that if you can destroy an Arabian Night card, but I think it makes sense here because he wants to get it out before the other guy gets his double blue mana and can counter. And you also, you're holding all his Cities of Brass away here. So if he draws into that, it won't provide him double blue mana because he can't play them when there's a city in a bottle out. Tundra coming out, attacking with the factory one more time. Parfait down to 16 points of life here. There's another sushi. That workshop working overtime has really helped the Parfait deck. Getting all that big stuff out. Now, can the deck keep up? Does he have another answer here? It's hard to imagine, right? He spent so many disenchants and the divine offerings at this point. He has 3 cards in hand, I think, so still outside the range from those black wises, but I suppose the Underworld Dreams does ping him each turn. Just done about 5 points of damage, or maybe even more, maybe even 6, I think 6 points of damage, yeah. No, 7, I think the Underworld Dreams says, yeah, about 7 points of damage at this point. That's a lot. Just a Sapphire here. A 3rd black wise. Attacking with the sushi, putting the deck down to 14 points of life pretty soon, 13. Oh, he should take out the point of damage from that Underworld Dreams, I think. Forgot that. Oh, what do we have here? Recall. Getting rid of a strip mine and a Library of Alexandria. Probably getting in some removal here. Taking a disenchant and a divine offering, I think. So you can divine the sushi and disenchant the Underworld Dreams. Relic Barrier coming out. It is okay, getting countered. Sushi comes in for 4. And the upkeep of the deck here. No, he decides to draw, taking a point of damage from that Underworld Dreams. And there's a disenchant on the sushi. Okay, and then attacking for 2, getting a Sorrowing out. Okay, he must have taken 2 disenchants then instead of a divine offering and a sushi and a disenchant. Another Underworld Dreams. I would have imagined that he would have taken an answer to the other Underworld Dreams. Yeah, another disenchant here. I think the superior targets might have been a divine offering and a disenchant, as said, and that would have netted him 4 points of life, and the situation would be the same. But I suppose the disenchants are more of a catch-all target. Triskelion coming out here. Each turn is just a threat out of... and the deck remembered that he needed to take another point of damage from the Underworld Dreams, so he created it here. But yeah, each turn there's just another threat out of the Parfait deck here. The deck seems to have run out of answers, and he hasn't even gotten out a book yet as a Chaos Orb. Nice fail safe here. Triskelion comes lumbering over. Factory gets in the way. Oh, but the Chaos Orb shoots down the factory. In these kitchen table games, we always count the Chaos Orb as hitting. Yeah, okay, the deck forfeits here. Next turn, the Triskelion would get in for 4, and that would be game. Black Parfait takes the second match here. This time, no mana starvation for Parfait, but a bit of mana starvation on the deck side, actually. Took him a while to get a double blue mana at least, but he did have a lot of artifact mana. Those Filver Stones aren't worth much in this matchup because you only get black mana out of it. He might take some Filver Stones out as well. Okay, the deck on the play, starting brutally here with a Tundra and a Sapphire, so we can counter and disenchant turn 1. Answered with a Mox Jet and a Swamp out of Black Parfait, the best Mox you could draw into, really. I guess both players have the best Mox in their deck for this start. Okay, Gates of Phyrexia here. So they can trade a Mox for the other Mox, but no need to do that now. The deck has a double blue mana from that 2 Tundras right there. Otherwise, it could be actually a viable play. It's gonna be hard to mana starve a monocolored deck that also uses a lot of artifacts. So sacrificing your mana to blow up the other guy's mana might be viable. Relic Barrier. Divine Offering immediately at the end step, so he can't even tap the Mox in the other guy's upkeep. The deck really hates those Relic Barriers, removing them or countering them instantly in this matchup. No land drop out of the deck. Just sitting back, the deck style here. Being reactive in the beginning, just trying to survive. Chaos Orb coming out. Okay. No counters on that. Okay, we got a 4th mana source out of Parfait here. So he can play Sushis and Icy Manipulators at this point if he has them in hand. Black Lotus, okay. And Mind Twisting, the hand of the deck here. This calls for a counterspell if he has it. Yep, there's the counterspell. I mean, sometimes you actually gotta wait with that Mind Twist, but it is always a risk, but just wait for the deck to tap out. But of course it's a risk, because if the deck draws into a Mind Twist of its own, yeah, you'll lose that punch. Okay, there's a Mind Twist. Getting 2 Winter Orbs here. So he actually had a combination in his hand with the Winter Orb and the Relic Barrier, as I mentioned during the deck tech. It could have been kind of nice. City in a Bottle. I think he should have waited with playing that until he could crack something. Actually, Attack with the Factory getting disenchanted here. I actually think it is a bit surprising that he doesn't take out his City in a Bottle after sideboard here. There aren't that many viable targets. I suppose it can be another answer against the Library of Alexandria, but you got Syncode for that. Regrowth. Regrowthing a counterspell. Just doubling down on the defenses here. Deck is in phase 1, just trying to acquire enough mana to get out a book and protect that with a counterspell. Now here's a Factory. Another Relic Barrier. That will neuter the Factory. So he can't attack with it. So a bit of a slow and steady 3rd match, this one. And this is actually an advantage for the deck, because he wants the game to take as long as possible here. But I suppose both decks are kind of slow. Parfait needs to get its combination out. Trying to choke the mana base and or get a card advantage out of the Howling Minds and Relic Barriers. He needs something to combo into that Relic Barrier. Another Factory. Okay, so we can actually start to get in here next turn. Underworld Dreams coming out. There's a counterspell. Likely the counterspell that the deck regrowthed. So, okay. First action here, coming out of the deck. He taps one of the Factories, the other one gets in. First blood to the deck. Okay, now that's blocked. We have a blocking Factory and a Relic Barrier. Dark Ritual. Oh, to Travis here. That is brutal in combination with that Gauge to Phyrexia. You can crack... Oh, it gets Source to Plowshare immediately. Too bad. Otherwise, all those 1/1 Tetravite counters would be an awesome way to get rid of any potential Yimday Tomes. And also, if the deck activates his Factories, you can just blow them all up, sacrificing a 1/1 artifact flyer for one of the deck's artifacts. I suppose you can still do that. I think a viable thing here would actually be to crack his Mox Pearl. He has no use of it. Just kill a Factory with that. Blocks with the Factory, gets disenchanted. Yeah, I think you should sacrifice some. Oh, I get Gauge to Phyrexia. Is that that's likely in the upkeep actually, so he can't do that. Yeah, that's probably why. Drew into a Factory though, so still a nail-biting standstill, this one. Both on full health and both with their defenses up. The deck can't seem to draw that book that will make him pull ahead. Juggernaut coming out, counterspell. Now he activates the Chaos Orb on the Volcanic Island. and as said in the previous round, in these training matches, we count the Chaos Hoppers always hitting. Personally, I would always just get some training in with the flip, but these guys are going for... Oh, Sarah Angel. Okay, so I must have sideboarded that in. Reckoning that the other guy would have taken out his Abyss. So the Sarah Angel will actually be pretty damn brutal if unanswered here. Sitting in a bottle doesn't touch it. We actually need like a Nicey Manipulator or something to get rid of it. Putting down a Howling Mind, getting the combination going here. Tapping down the Howling Mind so the deck gains no benefit from it. So he'll get, if the Howling Mind survives, Parfait will get some increased draw power next turn to try to draw into some answers here. Factory and Sarah Angel comes over attacking here. Parfait decides to take it on the chin. The deck is really the aggressor in this matchup actually. So yeah, just Factories and Sarah Angels bonking heads here. Triskelion, mana drain. It's almost like aggro control at this point, the way the deck plays. Getting out big beaters and protecting them. Just securing his position in the game with his counter magic and just trying to punch the other guy down before I can draw into sufficient answers. So we can brace for 8 points of damage here. Hot damn, down to 5. Parfait is getting overrun by the deck here. Howling Mind is in effect. So yeah, we need like a Terra or something, an Icy against that Sarah Angel. And also needs to keep the Relic Barrier up and the Factory up. He could actually survive another round. Tapping down one of the Factories with the Relic Barrier, blocking the other Factory with the Factory, and he would be down to 1 point of life. But there was no really any way to survive this. The deck just punching down here. After sideboard, Jesper's version of the deck is way more aggressive with those 3 Sarah Angels backed up by counter magic, especially when the other guy has taken out all his creature removal. We see his sideboard options here. Divine Offering, Dust to Dust, another Divine Offering, and a couple of Sarah Angels. Only 2 though. I thought he put in 3. He usually does. So that was this matchup, 2-1 to the deck. Next up, we'll follow up with another guy trying his luck against the deck archetype, and it's going to be a UR Counterburn that actually has on paper a very good matchup against the deck usually, but we shall see how this one goes. This one will be using Prodigal Sorceress as backup. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next battle.